Hello, welcome to One Africa Mission with your brother Dubia Anzanse. Please, if you are new here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Africa Mission. And also follow us on Facebook, One Africa Mission. We are missionaries. And our mission is to join hands together with any group any group that is fighting for a united Africa. Our mission is to join them to see this unification of Africa become a reality. This was the dream of our forefathers. And most of them give up their lives to see a united Africa because they saw the importance of unity. They saw that there is strength in unity. So they fought for this unification of Africa. They couldn't realize it in their lifetimes. So they handed the baton to me and you today. And me and you today see that without unity, Africa and the children of Africa will never be respected. So it is our duty to fight and see this unification of Africa become a reality. It is our duty to fight to see this dream of our forefathers become a reality. So please, let us join hands together. Let us all bring our energies, our knowledge, our spirit together to fight for this unification of Africa. I thank you very much for coming. Please share our content, pass comments. We need your comments because your comments, we learn from your comments and what to do to see this unification of Africa become a reality. I thank you very much for coming around. So today, once again, we are going to America, American Congress, to see this four-star general being questioned by the Congress of America as to America participating in coup d'etats in Africa, what they have been doing to Africa, and they didn't. And this is not a secret. They didn't started this today. Even in the days of Kwame Nkrumah, in the post-independence, all the coup d'etats that went on in Africa, from Ghana to Congo to any part of Africa, all the coup d'etats were being staged by America and their puppet. And they haven't changed the game. It's still the same old game that they are playing with Africa. So please, let's go and watch this video and come back to analyze it.
Constituents that have been scattered across Africa on train and equip missions. So just ballpark, in the last decade, how many Africans has the United States military trained and equipped?
Congressman, I don't have that figure. I can get that figure for you.
Ballpark, just, how many?
Congressman, it would be a wild guess right now.
Seems like something we should know, right?
Over the years, we have trained a substantial number, especially in the Gulf of Guinea states, but including
Like more than 10,000?
It is more than 10,000.
More than 50,000?
I'd say we're reaching around 50,000
Okay.
at least.
And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government?
Very small number, Congressman. Very small number.
So what percentage do you think?
I'd say probably less than 1%.
But it does happen.
The IMET program is in force, and we've pushed a significant number through our schools across the.
Yeah, and what data sets do you track to arrive at the conclusion that less than 1% of the roughly 50,000 that we've trained have participated in coups? Because it'd be like about 500, about 1% of 50,000.
Congressman, you may have that information. I don't at this time, but I know.
Well, I know there are some, right? Like go ahead and throw up that image. This is Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, and this is a photo of him. Did we train and equip him in Guinea?
By name, I cannot identify that.
Well, that guy in the middle with the big red hat, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, that's him with a bunch of U.S. service members outside of our embassy. And just months after this photo was taken in 2021, he led a coup in Guinea and threw out the leader. Does that concern you?
Congressman, core values is what we start off with in IMA programs.
Do we share
stick to
core
that.
values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Core values. I will repeat that. Core values. Respect for humanity.
Do we share those values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Absolutely. In our curriculum.
He led a coup.
We do.
Okay, well, that's a very telling answer. In Burkina Faso, did we share core values with the leader that we trained there who led a coup?
It's in our curriculum. We
Leading
stress
coups
core
are in our
values.
curriculum?
We request civilian-led governance.
Wait, hold on. Is leading coups in our curriculum?
Absolutely not.
So
Civilian-led,
my
civilian-led.
question is, do we share core values with the coup leader in Burkina Faso who we trained?
Holistically, we teach core values with a respect for civilian governance, apolitical, and that's what sticks across a very high percentage in the 90 over
But not
99
everybody, right?
percentile.
But not everybody. And I wonder how many people it takes to plan a coup. I mean, initially you didn't know how many we trained and equipped. Then you said it was 1%. You had no basis for that 1% number because there's no data set you tracked. Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record. Another U.S. trained soldier stages a coup in West Africa by The Intercept.
Without objection, so ordered.
And I further seek unanimous consent to enter into the record. U.S. forces trained the Guinean colonel behind the recent coup in West African country, and this is regard to Guinea.
Without objection, so ordered.
So I guess the question is, why should U.S. taxpayers be paying to train people who then lead coups in Africa?
Congressman, our curriculum harvests core values and also to be able to embolden these countries for a representative democracy.
But General, that democracy isn't what emerges. The problem is, I know you may have great confidence in what you're teaching, but when two governments have been overthrown, I guess how many governments have to be overthrown by people we train before you sort of get the message that our core values might not be sticking with everyone? Is it 5 countries? 10?
We'll continue with our persistence in assuring
But do you think it's
that they
working?
harbor democratic norms, democratic values.
Just a moment ago,
apolitical.
you said we shared core values with Colonel Doumbouya. You said that just moments ago in response to my question, and his core value seems to be leading a coup. So I don't think it's stuck. I think we should at least know how many countries we train the coup plotters in. How many is too many? Because clearly 2 is not too many, and I think we could use our...
Yeah, so as you can see, this 4-star military general, he's a 4-star, if you watch, he's a 4-star military general. He's been questioned by Congress. He's a black man, and this is what has been happening to African people. This is what has been happening to us. Or any time it is our own that they are using against us. Look at him struggling to answer the questions. How many Africans, how many school dictators have you sponsored in Africa? He knows the truth, but he cannot answer. So all the destabilization that has been going on, even though America claims America has the biggest drone base in the world in Africa. And the reason why they have it is because they want to help Africa fight terrorism, insecurity, and all that. And yet, these same criminals will go around or will go behind and still sponsor coup d'etats in Africa and still try to make Africa unstable and still try to increase insecurity in Africa, because this is the only way the hegemony of America will continue to go on. That is the only way the hegemony of America will continue to be relevant. So they will sponsor coups and turn back, try to create solutions to it. America has something they call AFRICOM. The reason why I think AFRICOM was formed under the leadership of Obama, another traitor. And the reason why AFRICOM was formed was because was to help Africa fight insecurity, help Africa fight terrorism. AFRICOM has not lived up to, it has lived up to their interests, but not in the interest of Africa. And today, as we speak, AFRICOM, which headquarters is in Germany, They are now contemplating of bringing the AFRICOM headquarters to Morocco. Morocco of all countries. When AFRICOM was formed, it wasn't because of Morocco. It was because of Sub-Saharan Africa. Isn't it? Because most of the instability going on is in Central, Western, and Southern Africa and East Africa. Not necessarily North Africa. So AFRICOM was formed to help Africa fight terrorism and insecurity. And the reason why we keep calling on the youth of Africa to stand up and fight for a united Africa is because anytime at all these people are taking decisions for Africa, they don't even include Africa. How did they come out with AFRICOM and the headquarters of AFRICOM is in Germany? The idea of forming AFRICOM was to help Africa. So how come they didn't go to Central African Republic or Congo and put the headquarters there? Because it was never formed for the interests of Africa. But today, they have seen that Russia, China influence is growing more and more in Africa. And what will they do? Or what should they do? Now, they are now contemplating of bringing AFRICOM headquarters to Africa. And, because they are not sincere on what they are doing, so instead of choosing any black African country, they choose to take it to Morocco, because America and Morocco has always been partners, even since the 18th or 17th century, even during the American Civil War, even during slavery. Morocco has always been a good partner to America. And they will always use Morocco against Africa. We all know the history of Morocco, what the Almoravids did in West Africa to bring down the Songhai Empire. We all know it was the Moroccans who brought it down. And then after bringing the Songhai Empire down, that was what led to slavery. We all know that. So Morocco, when did Morocco become a African Union country member? Morocco never wanted to be part of Africa. It's very unfortunate. These are our brothers, but we must say it as it is. No, Morocco never wanted to be part of African Union. When did Morocco join African Union? Just recently, less than 5 years ago. And America is now choosing Morocco to put AFRICOM headquarters. What have they seen that they now want to use Morocco as another form of destabilizing Africa? Because AFRICOM, just like this 4-star general, is struggling to answer the questions. It's all part of the American hegemony to continue to destabilize other countries for the interests of America. As we speak now, the Vice President of America, she's in Africa. What is she doing? What did she go? What is she doing in Africa? Let's see. And then we're getting this from Al Jazeera. It said U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris start this Saturday a week-long trip to Africa in what is being seen as the latest attempt at counterbalancing China's influence. So for them, everything, and you see, and you can see again, just as they are using that 4-star general who has been questioned by a white person to answer questions as to what they are doing in Africa. And he's not been able to answer, even though he looked like just me and you. They are sending another person who looked like us. In the name of our sister, they use Obama to bring down Gaddafi. They are using Kamala Harris to go to Africa. For what? To counterbalance Chinese influence. So for them, it is all about, if it wasn't for China and Russia, they wouldn't care. But because today China and Russia are becoming more gaining more influence in Africa, so they are desperate. It's like they are paranoid. America and the West are so paranoid about the influence of China and Russia in Africa. So they never love Africa. They have nothing good for Africa. All the reason why they are busy going up and down to Africa is because they are countering the influence of Russia and China. If it wasn't for that, what they have been doing to us is the same thing they're going to be doing to us. These people who have been staging coup d'etats in Africa almost all the time, anytime we have a good leader, they'll make sure they get rid of him, are the same people who are talking to us about democracy. And as Malcolm X said, democracy is nothing but hypocrisy, especially to we Africans. America never practiced democracy. And then it is about time we know them. And the only way we can stand up to these people, my brothers and sisters, my African brothers and sisters, the only way we can stand up against these people is to fight for the unification of Africa. It wasn't by mistake that they intentionally divided us, because they know a divided people are weaker people. Their ancestors, imagine if America, 50 states in America, if all of them were different countries, will they be bullying and deciding our future for us? No. So their forefathers saw the need for unity, the power in unity. That was the reason why they fought civil war, to make sure that they unite America. Today they have one military, one passport, one currency. Imagine if all those 50 states have different military, different passport, different currency. Do you think they will ever be stronger as they are today? No. So our division is our weakness. So if we as African people want to be powerful, and then we can be within a decade, we must fight for a united Africa. One military, one currency, one passport, and then Africa will be the greatest country on this planet Earth. Africa has what it takes. We have the manpower, we have the intellect, we have the intelligence, we have the resources. The only thing that is left is our unity. So we must do everything we can as this generation of Africans to see this united state of Africa become a reality. The dream of united Africa become a reality. I thank you very much for coming around. Please share our content, join the mission. Let us all fight for this unification of Africa. I thank you very much for coming around.